All right, so let's go ahead and work on this project. And it says, well, the title of it is Which Garage is Better? It says the cost for two different parking garages are below. The maximum stay is 24 hours. All right, so first we're gonna focus on the Blue Street garage. And it says for 1 hour or less, um, there's a flat fee. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna jump right in with some information here because it says the maximum stay is 24 hours. So we're gonna say, just for starters, that our domain is from 0 to 24. Okay, now that's just kind of a starting point. Okay, because we're gonna look at Blue Street Garage and notice that they're telling us some things over here as well. And I'm gonna go ahead and start thinking of domain and interpreting this a little bit. And it says, well, if you're in there for 1 hour or less, you pay a flat fee. Well, 1 hour or less is gonna look like this. And then it says if you're in there for more than an hour, then you're gonna do something else, which we'll read in a minute. Well, being in there for more than an hour, but up to 24 hours, is gonna look, it's gonna look, no, I went a little too far there. It's gonna look like, oh, that's a 1, like this. And I had to erase that little mark on the bottom because one is up here, but anything more than 1 is over here. Okay, so what's gonna happen? Well, you're gonna pay a flat fee of 10 bucks. Okay, so if you're in there 0 hours, you're gonna pay $10. No, my bad. If you're in there 0 hours, oh no, it is because it's a flat fee. It's $10. If you're in there an hour, it's gonna be a flat fee of $10. But if you're in there more than an hour, you're gonna pay $10 for the first hour and then an additional fee of $5. So that too gets broken up into 1 plus 1. For the first one, you're gonna pay $10, and then you're gonna pay $5 for the other one. If you're in there 3 hours, you're gonna break it up into 1 plus 2, because you're gonna pay $10 for the first hour and then $5 for the next 2 hours. And so on. So that's 15, that's 20. You may even notice that maybe it's because we usually want to use this number in the input, right? So obviously over here we want a 3, but that's the same as 4 minus 1. Now, of course, it's 3, right? 5 times 3 is 15 plus 10 is 25. So I'm going to do one more and then I'll let you fill out the rest of the table. It's $10 for the first hour, but there's 5 minus 1 other hours that you're going to pay $5 for. So that's gonna end up being 4 times 5 is 20 plus 10, that's 30. Okay, now I'm gonna stop the video and I'm gonna give you a few seconds to fill that out. So I'm gonna do, I think, one more in here. Um, let me just do one more that we're gonna need later. And then you should have figured out the rest. Okay, now let's look at Red Street. So for Red Street, if you're in there 5 hours or less, you're paying $7 an hour. So 7 times 0 is 7. 7 times 1, my bad, this is 0. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. Then 21, 28. And I guess I'm gonna finish this well, not the whole column, but 7 times 5 is 35. I think I may have made a mistake somewhere. 21, 28. No, we're good. I think that's correct. I know my mic is working, so if you can't hear me, it's a problem on your side. Can everybody else hear me?
Yes.
I do.
Yes.
Can hear you.
Now, if you're in there more than 5 hours, so from 5 on, you're paying a flat fee of 35. Okay, 6 hours, 35. These are all 35s. I'll just go ahead and do it just because there's nothing to it. Now and you've certainly filled out the rest of these by now. And
You wouldn't add the 7 for more than 5 hours as well, or is it just a flat fee?
It's a flat fee.
it's a flat fee. It works different, and you'll see it more clearly as we do other parts of this. So it says Joe and Flo. Let me use let me use dark green, I guess. It says Joe and Flo, they part, one in blue and one in red, for the same length of time. Okay, after they checked out and paid, they asked each other which garage was cheaper, only to discover they paid the same amount. Okay, what length of time might each have parked in the garage? So there's a real obvious one.
6 hours.
Those are obviously the same. You may have already caught it, maybe you hadn't. But there's a hidden one. And what I'm gonna have you do, because I'm gonna give you a hint. There's a hidden one, because look at the question. It says, find all possible answers. That means there's more than one. What I'm gonna have you do is plug in 0.5 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, and you're gonna get answers that are in between. And you're gonna try to find, and I'll tell you, you don't have to go very far. You're gonna find answers in between, hoping that you'll find another pair or yeah, another column, my bad, another row that looks kind of like this. You're gonna do that on your own time. I'm not gonna give you the answer for that, and I'm gonna let you figure that out on your own. But I can tell you that there's this answer, and there's another time and cost pair that shows they pay the same amount. Sorry. Okay. All right. Now we have to write a piecewise function. And I already gave you part of it because you have to figure out what the domain is. So you already have that part of it. But what's the formula? Well, the formula is it's $10 an hour. And the reason I did it this way is so that hopefully, and I'm erasing some of it because it's getting a little messy here. Do you start seeing a formula? $10 plus 5 times n minus 1. See if you can plug in an 8. 8 minus 1 is 7. 7 times 5 is 35 plus 10 is 45. So I wrote it this way so you could start seeing internally there's a formula going on. No. Oh, and they're using an X, right? So let's use an X. Now for Red Street, let me see if there's a part I can leave you to do. We already said the first part of the formula is working up until 5 hours. And it's $7 an hour. I'll tell you what, I'll leave that for you to do. I'll do the flat fee part. I think it's 35 is a flat fee. So there you go. You've got one thing to do, which is fill that formula out. Now this says to graph a piecewise function, you'll need your teacher to lead you through the process. So that's, they've already got the graph for you, so this isn't 100% necessary, but I might as well lead you to it now. Let me see if my calculator comes back on. I may have to sign in again. Okay, so what you're gonna do is it is $10. And I hope this works because it's a little weird. $10 if it's really not user friendly. I'll tell you that much. Let me go back. If X is greater than or equal to 0, and X is less than or equal to 1. Now let's see if I did it right. Yeah, I think I did it right. It's like I said, it's not friendly at all, not user friendly at all. You can barely see it. Let me not go that far on this one. Okay, but it's that little flat line right there. You see that little flat line? Okay, then the other part of the formula is 10 plus 5 times x minus 1. And you use a division symbol, which never makes sense to me why. If x is greater than 1, okay, so it looks like that. Now I'm doing the 24 hours. Maybe we only want to look at, 10 hours. The graph might look a little better. Okay. You should be able to figure out the rest. That's, by the way, the color is really, I guess I could try to do blue. Well, let me change color. Let's go with navy. That's blue, right? Oh, it didn't change it. Let me try it again. I don't know. It doesn't like my color choice, evidently. Oh, enter? I went to light blue. Let's see. Okay. So I kept them both blue. Okay. And based on that sample, you should be able to do the red street. But how necessary it is, I'm not sure, because you're just gonna end up with this same picture here. Now, remember earlier there was a question about they had the tickets that were the same. Well, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. You see that point there is 635? Well, guess what? That's the other answer. I'm not gonna tell you what it is though. So this goes again. When are the costs of using the garage equal to each other? You could look at the graph or you look at the table, but here's a question. What equations would you set equal to each other to find the costs are equal? So I'm gonna help you. Okay. For this answer here, you should set this equal to this. To find this answer, you need to set this equal to this formula. Once you do that, you should be able to solve. And I think that should give you enough information to complete this project. There's some more questions here. And I'm gonna ask you to just do your best on those, because I think I've given you enough to go on.